we will be ready. Let's see. See if we can get a few people on here. As you can see, I got a little bit of sunburn on my nose today. We had a meeting today of 5 people that came into the area here, that moved into the community here through the channel, and we actually have a lot more people around here than just that 5. But we had a meeting of 5 people today here, so it's kind of cool sitting in the cabana here and actually having that meeting. So I really enjoyed having that chat today. It was kind of cool. Let's wait and see if we got a few more people, get some people on here tonight, because we haven't. Last week we were on here and we were abruptly cut off, on and off and on and off and on and off because of the Wi-Fi. We're hoping tonight that doesn't happen, and actually it's tonight the Wi-Fi has been pretty good, so God willing we won't have any problems with Wi-Fi tonight. So let's hope for the best tonight. We'll see what happens. So who do we got on here tonight? Let's see. We had 12 people already, so we're going good tonight. So let's hope that this all runs good tonight. We don't have any issues tonight or anything like that, and we'll see how this goes. And also, I have this new iPad here, so I might look a little bit different than normal on here because I'm using a different iPad, a new iPad actually, so it's kind of cool. So we'll see what happens. So let's see who we got on here, guys. Get some questions going here and stuff. This should be interesting tonight. We got 3 thumbs up already. We haven't even started. So let's see how this goes. Get this live chat going. Here we go. Dickie's on here. How you doing, Dickie? Let's see who else we got on here. We got 12 people. We should get some of the. Here we go. Travman Brett. Hello. How you doing? How you doing, brother? Let's see. Let's get some more people on here too, and then we can get started here. Yeah, we've actually been settling a lot of people in here, and this week here we've been really busy, and we have more people coming. I actually have a guy coming by tomorrow who's already settled in here and has his place, but we're really getting a community going here, which is amazing, because we think we have probably like about as many as 20 people in here, and I've probably met like about 10 of them, somewhere around there we have, so it's pretty good. So who else we got on here? Let's get some more people on here. It's a little slow tonight, but here we go. Loves music. Greetings from Berlin. Can't wait to come back soon to the Philippines. Let's see. I used to actually live in Berlin, New Hampshire, not Berlin, Germany, but Berlin, New Hampshire for a while. It's kind of a cool place. Wayne Darvell. Hi, it's Wayne from Australia, now at Lapu Lapu. There we go. So he's here. Alma's on here. Hiya, Steve. Happy weekend to you and the fam. Same to you, Alma. It's good to see you on here tonight. We got 20 people on here. Let's get some questions rolling tonight. We can pick a subject and we'll just start chatting about it here if you guys want. I was out and about today and the past couple days, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this tonight. And the gas prices are really like going crazy over here. We went from 53 last week up to 73 and 77 in some places in Manila already. And so we got Sinfuls on here, evening, Steve from Cool Salang. And then we got Jeff Poy's Adventures. Hello from Texas. Good to see you guys on here. So Sinfuls, we're going to get together soon. We've had 5 people meet up today. So sooner or later, we're going to have like a bunch of guys get together. So just FYI. And for you new guys that are on here that don't know, we have kind of a community that we're building around here. And it's working out good. We just haven't had the time to sit down with everybody and get things rolling yet. Sinful says, yes, glad I filled while it was still 54. Sinful, it went up fast, because I was up in Manila just the other day and it was 77 and 74 at a couple of the gas stations there. And then they were some of the gas stations that are fairly cheap, and some of them are expected to go higher from what I'm hearing. Johnny B. Good says, how are the locals handling this insanity? The locals are always kind of quiet because they just kind of go with the flow here. It's kind of funny because in the United States, we talk about it. In the Philippines, they don't talk about it that much. It just doesn't bother them. They don't let it bother them. It's kind of funny because that's one thing I like about the Philippines is that the people don't complain much. No matter what happens, they just don't complain. Wayne Darvell says, I found a great girlfriend named Jenna Lynn. Looks good. Great. That's good, Wayne. That's good, man. I'm happy for you. It's good to have a good girlfriend here. It really is. That's what makes the world go around, man, having a good relationship, Sinful says, yes, I have a nice steakhouse near to my house. I want to try and take you. Sure, I'm game on that. They got Prime Steakhouse too, Sinfuls. That's all you can eat there at SM Dasma. So let's see. Have a good day is the guy's name. He says, hi, when do you think they will let in unvaxxed people? I think that's going to be soon, okay? I really think that's going to, they're already talking about it. So that's probably going to happen because the IATA is talking about that. And they're trying to get, they're trying to get all these countries to just open up and just stop all the vaccine nonsense. So that's a good thing. Sinful says, glad I get about 900 kilometers on a tank. That's not bad. That's excellent. We got the little WeGo, and we get around fairly cheap on that, but even that is hurting, man. You drive around in that, and the gas is getting so expensive that you feel it in your pocket because you have to. When we fill up at the end of the day, we got to fill up, and man, it's expensive even just for a few bars when it goes down on the gas tank thing. So that's kind of scary when you think about that. Let's see. Francisco Flipped says, nice to see you, Steve. Same here, man. Good to see you on here, Francisco. We got to get together soon once things settle down here. Jeff Poy's Adventure says, okay, my question is, what size nest egg do you think is adequate to generate your sweet spot budget in an average market? Well, average market gets you about 7%, so you'd have to figure out, what you would need to get you up to 2,500. You'd have to do the math work. 2,000 to 3,000 is the sweet spot. But you know something? If things keep going the way that they go, you may need a higher sweet spot because the way the inflation rates are going, which we never expected, it may have to be a little bit higher than that. So just but you have to kind of consider that. A lot of people that are on pensions over here get cost of living raises, like myself. I get a cost of living raise on mine. So you have to kind of consider that when you're considering the sweet spot budget. You also have to have a little bit of growth in there too. So when you're doing, if you're going to be on the stock market, you want to also have like a little bit extra to kind of overcome that big hit. And that's hard when you're having 10 and 15% inflation. So you have to consider that and think about that and figure out what to do about that. And I don't know how to overcome that with mathematically because it's crazy because last year was so bad. But we'll see. Plus your Social Security kicks in at some point too, and that does give you a cost of living increase. So Sinful says, yes, I say that yesterday when I was in SM Dasma, the Prime Steakhouse. Let's see. Sperlin Edwards says, good morning from Connecticut. I got my apostles. That's good, Sperlin. That's excellent, man. I want to see you get here soon. We're waiting for you. Hopefully you come in our community too, because we have a lot of people coming here. So it'd be great to have you here. Gilles Guzman says, hope you're doing well, Steve. Got my first 2 shots so that I can come visit in May. We'll start in Manila, and I see if I can find a furnished place with internet for home office for around 8,000 pesos. That's easy. That's an easy one to get. You should be able to get that very easily, okay? As far as the internet, you might have to cover that yourself, but you can find a furnished place around here for 8,000. It's possible. In my area, we just got one yesterday for 5,000, and it's a 1-bedroom with AC, So Scuba Guy says, hi everyone. Hope everyone is safe, well, and having a great day. Let's see, we got 45 people on here, 17 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. See if we can get some more people on here. Johnny B. Good says, how do you feel about the mountain provinces for cost of living in Luzon? You know something? If that's your cup of tea, I tell people, out there you're going to have internet problems. You're going to have problems with Western foods and stuff like that. So you're gonna have those problems. So that's something to think about. Leanne Sorrow, this is my sister from Cape Cod, Mass. How you doing, Lee? I'll give you a call later on. I gotta give you a call. I've been so busy. We've had a lot of expats coming in here. That's my sister. Wiser and Happier says, countries will abolish the mask and vaccines soon. Many of the economies are panicking with the inflation as I am. Aim for the 3,000 US dollars per month. Yeah, that's probably a good call, the way things are, going here. I would say, yeah. If you're gonna go for the sweet spot budget, go for the higher end. Definitely. With the way things are going right now, go for the higher end. Let's see. Zane Underwood says it's 5:50 a.m. on Pacific Northwest coast of Oregon. Good morning, Steve. I was wondering, sir, any word on what is happening with or for the non-vax? The IATA is fighting for the non-vax right now throughout the world. They're fighting to get rid of all this nonsense. So, just wait. I think it's going to happen. I think probably within a month or two, I think you'll see all that stuff go away. Hopefully, we'll see. See, Joe Porter says, how many shots COVID does it take to be vaccinated to get in? Just the 2 on the regular, like Pfizer shots, and then Johnson & Johnson, just the 1. That's all you need. You don't need the boosters. So don't worry about getting the boosters. You don't need them. Not to come into the Philippines. Francisco Fletes says, I'm going to Singapore on special travel lane program. No quarantine. Only problem I'm having is they don't accept the CDC card as is. They need a letter from the clinic to certify vaccination. Well, it should be pretty easy to get. If most of the people I told to get paperwork or documentation from the place that you got the shot. So it's easy enough to get. David Evans says, hello, Steve, from northern Wisconsin, 6 below 0 this morning. Man, that's cold. That's cold. See, Go Bobo sister, boycott our government. Smoky Mountain Modeler, good evening. See, how you doing, Smoky? It's good to see you on here tonight, man. Scuba guy says, Johnny, be good. Take a look at K-On. I have a home near there. It's a nice place, rural Philippines. I don't think I've ever heard of that place, to be honest with you. See, Francisco Fletes says, I sent the VA request for the certificate. Keep you posted if they reply. Okay. I think they'll give you a certificate too if you need it. I never asked them for one because I've never needed one. Let's see. Dickie Hertz says, I'm stuck between Panama, the Philippines, Thailand, or Vietnam. I'm pulling the trigger in 6 weeks. 4 inches of snow in Ohio. Grr. Wow. You know something? If you're going to go with Panama, you might as well throw Belize in that mix too, because Belize is a beautiful country. Very beautiful. And it's cheap living there too. It's more expensive than the Philippines, but it's still cheap. Michael L. It says, message retracted, Michael, so I don't know what you wrote, but Kevin Nash's Kitchen heard a report that even the guy that initially came up with the 401k concept is saying don't bother. I never heard that one, but interesting. Maximus says, good evening, Steve. Good evening, Maximus. How you doing? Dune 2700 says, according to Grandpa Vlogger, you only need an antigen COVID test to get in now. Yeah, you need the RT-PCR tests, is from what I heard, but maybe they changed that in the past couple of days or whatever. Because I know they're changing things fast. But last I heard, you still need the RT-PCR test, but maybe they're changing things more. So Michael L says, good evening, Stephen. How you doing, Michael? David Abbott says, Morecambe, England, here, great channel. Thanks, man. Carrie Hill says, I'm glad that I bought a smaller crossover instead of a larger SUV. Let's see. Kevin Smith says, hello from cold, snowy Adirah, Kazakhstan. There we go. Being stuck here 2 years. I'll just wait till 2023 to come back to Mindanao. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be stuck in Kazakhstan. That doesn't sound like a fun place to be. Louisiana Swamp Trash, the legend himself. John Wolfanger says, military equipment of $3,200 good for Lapu Lapu expat life. No, military retirement of $3,200. So I said military equipment. $3,200 good for Lapu. Yes, that's a very good retirement here. More than enough. And you should be able to save some too. And get good insurance. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, at least they are moving in the right direction on COVID tests. Now only the antigen test, 24 hours as of the 10th. That's good. That's good news. Lulu55 says, Steve, you missed the breaking news yesterday. I might have. I've been so busy the past couple of days, but we've been talking about other stuff here. And yes, I do miss some news sometimes, unfortunately. We've been helping all the people get in here. And sometimes we don't cover some of that stuff. But I should have covered it. You're right. If I had seen it. Sinfuls. John Wolfganger. Yes, you can live good with that. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Who gets 3,200? A colonel? Actually, there's a lot of us to get that, and I'm not a colonel. I'm up there in that range too. So, Steve Ford says, hello, Steve from Switzerland. Can you email me your number again, please? New phone. Let's see. Yeah, I can, Steve. Just remind me. Send me an email asking me for that if you can, and I'll resend you my phone number. Okay, Steve? Because otherwise I'll forget. If you don't send me an email, I'll forget. I'll totally forget. Lulu 55 antigen test is now accepted. That's awesome, man. That's good to hear. I haven't heard that because the past, like I said, the past 2 days we've been loaded up with work here, and I just actually finished up. We were here with five expats, and we've been running up to Manila and stuff like that, picking up people, bringing people around, and doing things with people. So, and showing apartments to some of the expats here to get them settled in here. iClub says, would you buy a scooter or a small car for the roads? I think a car is safer than the scooters. Some people say the car would be more dangerous, but that's a toss up, to be honest with you. Sinful says, Steve, antigen test within 24 hours now, all that needed. Yeah, I didn't hear that. That's good to hear, though. That's good news. Smoky Mountain Modeler, good morning, Sinfuls, he says. Zane Underwood says, number 18. Michael Hunwick says, love your videos, and I agree with you about penny pinches. Yes, I would leave the patio, as you said to me. It will be myself thanking them for the opportunity of living comfortably. Yeah, the patio that we're putting over on the side here, we're probably going to put low to the ground here to save some money, because the guy was actually talking about putting it way up in the air to where our other thing is, our front porch here right now. And I was thinking about putting it lower to save money. So we're going to probably end up going that route and put a staircase going down to it. And it'll be nice over there. I'm looking forward to having that big area over there so we can do some stuff over there. So it should be fun. Let's see. Michael L. says, IATA just approved a lab-administered antigen test 24 hours before departure. So that's good. Makes life easier. Francisco Fleta says, I'm flying to Cebu for a christening with my girlfriend. We'll go business class and staying at 5-star Crimson Resort. 2 years, no travel. We are living it up now that we are allowed to leave. It's good to see people traveling around here and the resorts filling up. We went to Ten's Oasis a little while ago, and it was filled. And we also went to Villa Feliciano the other day, and that was filled. So I mean, we're seeing people, get out more, both in the malls, the restaurants, and places like that too. So Jay says, good morning, Steve, from sunny California. Darryl Bailey says, hey, Steve, I land on the 18th. We should do coffee or lunch. Traveling is so stressful. Yeah, Daryl, we can probably meet up if I'm available then. You'd have to email me, let me know. We've been really swamped here with work, helping people settle in here, and we have more coming. So, and some of the people that are coming here, surprise, surprise, some of them aren't calling me or giving me a heads up when they're coming. They just think like I'm ready to roll and they can just show up here. And we've had a few people do that. Most of the people, though, have been kind enough to call me or let me know in advance. And that's what works. Those are the people that we're getting settled here right now, are the ones that have called me, but we've also fit in some of the other people and we're getting them settled too. So it is working out, but I just ask that people, if you come in here and you want me to help you get settled, we'll help you get settled, but just please give us some information, like as to when you're coming or whatever, and we can kind of fix a schedule so we can help you out and get you settled and help you find a place too. Let's see. Sinful says, let's see. Smoky Mountain Model, hello. You doing well? Michael L says, or RT-PCR 48 hours before departure. So it's kind of the same, but you can do the other one then. Okay. Rocky Packman says, Boston, Massachusetts in the house. Your hometown. Actually, Lawrence, Massachusetts is my hometown, but Boston, yeah, I worked in Boston, driving and everything, and also delivering things in Boston. So Eddie Centano, no matter what you hear now on requirements to enter, you should always keep checking them because requirements change in the Philippines. Yes. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't got into like the mix of like the others, like what other people are putting out there is because that stuff does change constantly. And so that's why sometimes I don't, most of the time I put it out there or I'll talk about it at least like in passing or whatever. I actually didn't see that once. So, that's good news to me though. Zane Underwood says, what's the high and low airline ticket prices, one way versus round trip? I heard a guy, he got a ticket for $781 the other day, round trip, but it was on some, I believe it was on a Chinese airline. And another guy got a one-way ticket for like in the 700s too, with a onward ticket to Singapore. So it, round trip is not like people find, if you're flying one way, they get you on that with a high price, and then sometimes you get the round trip ticket through some airlines, and it's almost the same price as the one way if you go through some of the Chinese airlines. So be aware of that, China Airlines. But I don't know if I want to travel on China Airlines nowadays. I would say no, But that's the one I took over here. Francisco Fleta says they have those antigen labs at every mall. It's like a drive-through. That's cool. Michael Hunwick says, hello to all. I'm still new here. And let's see. Smoky Mountain Model says, doing good. Looking at a snowstorm at the moment. Yesterday, 70 degrees. That's crazy. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, that's great. I should have stayed in 20 to 25 years. Daniel Wachowski says, good morning, Steve. Do you have anything like a checklist getting ready to retire? The PI sounds great. Well, Daniel, if you go back in my older videos, it's not so much as a checklist as I do talk about like what to do and stuff like that, and you can probably make a checklist off that. But no, I don't have a checklist because everybody's different. Some people are selling houses, some people aren't. I should probably do that someday. And then if people want to mail me and send enough money to mail it back or something like that, or I could not even that, I could probably just email it to people if they wanted it. But that's an idea for me to do probably sometime in the future. It's just not now because I'm way too busy. Let's see, we're up to 81 people, 31 thumbs up. Sinful says, I was going to buy a motorcycle as I had rode all my life, but now being here in the living status have changed my mind. I will stick with my truck. You're probably better off. It's a lot safer in a truck around here. iClub, where to find really cute girls, lighter skin near Manila area. They're all over Manila, You can meet girls all over the place. Mall of Asia, and so they got some nice looking girls at some of the places up at Texas Roadhouse and some of the restaurants up there too. Michael L, if you are skilled, then a scooter is better in heavy Manila traffic. However, a car is safer. Better yet, use Grab. That's right, use Grab. Excuse me, guys. Smoky Mountain Model says you can buy a Suzuki Transformer for 4 to 5K US dollars. That's cool. Francisco Fleta says I'm $3,915 US dollar pension from VA plus 4 retired pay. My budget is about 8K after taxes. That's pretty good, man. That's a great budget to have in the Philippines. And Darren Cooper says, hey Steve, what's the skinny? The skinny is that your place is filling up over there, man. Florida sun is filling up. So we have a lot of people over there. A lot already. We just had some more guys move in there over this weekend. So we got more coming in tomorrow and Monday. So Willie White says, good day, man. Good to see you on here. Sinful says, 69 viewers, 29 thumbs up. Let's hit it. There we go. Let's see. Paul Gibson, West Australia finally open to the world. Travel restrictions over. Fuel $2.30 a liter. Don't know if we can afford to travel now. Let's see. John Wolfganger, what do you use for U.S. address if retiring to the PF? I use my sister's address. Okay, not the sister's that's on here right now, but I use my sister. Steve Force says, Steve, I bought land, used a lawyer, went to do title name change, documents not correct. Need another lawyer to fix this. Glad I did not try this alone. Yes, definitely need a lawyer. We should go, Francisco Fleta says, we should go to Denny's in Salang for brunch when you have time. I can pick you up in Tracy if you need a ride. Yeah, we can do that, man. We can do that. Just not this week. The week after, I'm hoping things slow down, and I think they will. This week here, I have doctor's appointments and some other stuff. You have to excuse the noise guys over here. Let's see. Paul Osterhout says, howdy campers. Sinful says, Smoky Mountain Modeler, LOL, it's 10 p.m., about 75 here now. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, my friend in Davao said they may get rid of a mask mandate in April. I'm thinking that's probably true. Darren Cooper says, I'm hearing Manila and Cavite will be going to alert levels 0 soon. No more masks outside only. Fingers crossed for complete no masks everywhere. I'm hoping that happens. Like, that's my wish too. I'm sick of wearing masks, especially in the malls. Robert Wilkins says, hello, my friend. I will be there next month for 30 days with my girlfriend. That's awesome, man. It's good to see people, living their dreams out, because that's what it's all about, man. Coming over here. Smoky Mountain Wallace says, it's not polite to rub it in sinfuls. Yeah. Mr. Duke GSD, hi Steve. Owen here from Albany, New York. I've been watching all your videos, just never get a chance to catch your live streams. Be moving to the Philippines in a few years. Are you far from Tagaytay? No, we actually go to Tagaytay quite often to go to Army and Navy to eat. John Brown, get that nose checked out. Yeah, it's sunburn. It's sunburn. I have a sunburn from the other day, but that's what's going on. It'll heal up. It always does. I've had sunburn there before. It's the first place I get sunburn usually. That's why I'm all red. Young boy Pete's protein shakes. Gas is a problem, man. Over here it's expensive. Michael L says, avoid China Airlines. Yes, I agree. America, Delta, United, JAL, ANA, Singapore Air, all good, even if you have to scrimp and do premium economy. Business class is scrumptious. Paul Osterhout says, got the Apostle Doc back yesterday. That's awesome, man. That's good to hear. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, anyone using that sandwich panel metal roofing material there? Just wondering how it holds up to weather conditions. A lot of places use that here. For some people it works out, but I mean, in the Philippines, it depends where you are, because some sections do not get hit as hard with typhoons here. We just get the rain and we get some wind too, but not like other places do, because it has to pass over the mountains to come to us, and that kind of breaks it up a little bit. So, Paul Osterhouse says, and we'll book tables at Texas Roadhouse for the 30th of June. There we go. Sounds good, man. So, let's see. Johnny Be Good, under tornado watch and wild windy conditions in southeast North Carolina. Temperature is supposed to drop 40 degrees by afternoon. We actually have people here from North Carolina today. We had a guy from North Carolina. We actually had two guys here from North Carolina today. And they both moved here. They both moved right around this area. One of them is Nathan. We have a new guy here that just came also. Mark's son, Steve, what is your prediction on the dollar peso? It is up to 52.4 now. How high do you think it may go? I think we're going to be back to 55 and 56, and I think we're going to hit 60 by next March. That's my prediction, okay? Or more, 60 or more. And I think I'll be right on that. Michael Hunwick says, have a great day. I have to go to the market. Have a good one, Michael. Take care. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0. Hello, everyone. Michael L. says, sunblock works. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Michael. Actually, when I was outside, I was underneath a tree, actually, and I still got burned pretty good. And when I kept looking at my skin looked white, and then when I got home, it was all red. It was redder than what I thought. And it didn't really hurt me or anything like that. It just started peeling. Steve Ford says, in Switzerland, no masks, only public transport, restaurants, not even COVID pass needed, like in the last 3 weeks. We don't need our COVID pass except to eat in a restaurant. And even I think that's going away soon. See, Brooke Snyder says, Largo, Florida, in the house. There we go, Brooke. Brooke is another one who will be living in our community here soon. And Brooke, we're starting to get some people. We had 5 people over the house today. So we had five expats here that are part of the community now. And we got more coming. So we got a whole load coming. Paul Osterhout, for your stateside address, take a look at St. Brendan's Isle in Florida. Excellent service. Steele says, got my ticket 8 days now. Clark Henderson says, hey, Steve, sent you a question on your last video. Appreciate your feedback. I'll take a look at it. I'll try to look at the comments tonight. I'll try to answer you tonight, okay, if it's in the comment section or whatever. I usually answer those every 24 hours. Sometimes I don't get a chance. So I'll try to look at them tonight after the show, okay? Let's see. Malcolm Cottrell says, "What's up, Steve? Good to see you, man. Appreciate the good info from subscribers in the chat." Sinful says, "Sure windy here in Silang the other night. It's actually been beautiful over here with the wind. Today it wasn't so windy though. Usually we get a good breeze blowing through here, and today we didn't. It was hot today." See, Zane Underwood says, "Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Michael." Hillbilly Pyro, snowing here in West Virginia this morning. Robert Wilkins says, "I'll be in Cavite. We will be looking at houses in the general area. Would love to meet up with some fellow vets while we are there next month. Robert, if you want to meet up with us, feel free to give me a yell. Just send me an email at Steven with a V 5975 at yahoo.com. And if I can meet with you, I will. I'll meet up with you. Sometimes I get busy and I can't meet. So I mean, because my first priority is getting people settled here. So, but sometimes I get a couple of hours I can fit people in, or sometimes I get a day off on occasion. Not very often lately. Smoky Mountain Water. I'm 10 miles from the Tennessee-North Carolina border. Michael Lagasse says, just logged in, coming soon from Albany, New York. There we go. I used to drive up that way. I used to go to, what was the name of that place? Schroon Lake, New York. Sinful says, one lesson I learned since moving here, if you're wearing prescription glasses as I do, so I have regular and sunglasses. If you leave early in the day driving, bring both pairs. Days can be long. My glasses here, these are sunglasses and trifocals. And I love these things because all I have to do is put them in the sun, they turn dark black. So all you have to do is hold them in the sun for a second and they get really black. Wiser and Happier says, how much can you get a 1 month short-term lease fully furnished in your area? Well, I mean, if you're talking about a 1-bedroom, we just got a fully furnished one the other day that one of the expats went out and checked out. It had AC, fully furnished. It was a small 1-bedroom. It was decent. It wasn't anything beautiful or upstanding, but you can get one for about $100. 100, somewhere around there, 100 to 140 probably for something like that. If you want to get something with a pool and you want to get a condo, they're about $350 to $400 over Florida Sun. $350 if it's not a corner unit. The corner units go for about $400, and the units inside, because there's less windows, go for about $350. Sometimes, if you can find them. Let's see. Oliver D says, "Is it easy to travel domestically there right now?" Yes, very easy. No problems anymore. Jim Brady, hi here from Estacada, Oregon. There we go, Oregon. I actually have a cousin that lives out there. Let's see. Justin from Arkansas. Hi, Steve. How you doing, Justin? Nilu just around says, hi, everyone from the UK. How you doing, Nilu? Sinful says, Robert Wilkins, if you need a ride around, be glad to help you. And Steve. Darren Cooper says, hey, Brooke, how is life in God's waiting room? LOL. That's mean, Darren. That's mean. The Programmer X, what would the 10-year visa? I'm not sure what you're talking about with 10-year visas. I don't know of any 10-year visa here. Let's see. Robert Welcome says, at Sinful's thanks. Quading says, good morning, Filipino planning retirement here, and I liked your Tagaytay video a lot. How much is a good budget to buy a house in a nice area? I mean, it's hard to say that because I don't know exactly what you're looking for. And when you say, to buy a house in a nice area, some people, a nice area is different than for other people. So it's hard to say on that one. It's not that it's way cheaper than back home, Let's see. Nilu just around says those prices are per week. I'm not sure what you're referring to. The prices that I put on my properties that I show are all monthly. John Miller says, I will need permission to leave the Philippines. Clark Kennedy says, love the Schroon Lake area of the Adirondacks. I actually used to go horseback riding. I used to be up there in the middle of the winter, and it was cold up there. Really, really cold. But I love Schroon Lake in New York. Hello from Guam, TSM Gerald. How you doing, Gerald? Good to see you on here, man. And my favorite YouTuber says, hi. How you doing, my favorite YouTuber? There we go. Let's see. Let's get some more stuff on here, more questions and stuff. But yeah, I used to go up to Schroon Lake quite a lot. I like that area. I used to go up there with a bunch of kids from my church, and we used to take them up there during the winter, and they had cabins up there at this missionary school up there, and it was quite interesting. Let's see. My sister says, Leanne Soro says, talk to you later. I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call later on if I can, Lee. My favorite YouTuber watching from Bakersfield, California. My favorite YouTube. We actually have a lot of people here from California coming in here. So it's kind of cool. We're up to 100 people, 52 thumbs up. That's awesome, man. Thanks, guys. So we're doing pretty good here tonight. We're probably gonna do about another hour on here tonight, and we're doing good as far as not breaking down. So last week we were breaking down a lot, but I'm glad we can get on here this week and we can answer questions and stuff. Zane Underwood says, "Hey Steve, how much longer do you think the lower $80 to $100 rents will last before they're completely snapped up and gone?" You want to know something, Zane? Let me say this about the $80 to $100 rents. We still have $60 rent ones in here around here. They're not that common, but they are around. Excuse me. I don't think you're going to see the 60 and 80 ones that much longer. They tend to going up to about 100. Although we just got a guy a fully furnished one for 100 the other day, and that's a rarity here. But we're still finding them in Tracy Martera, so they're here. They're here, Zane. This area here is like an anomaly. It really is, because I tell people here all the time about that the rents are really cheap here, and we can cover almost everything cheaper. We can get houses cheaper. We can get everything. A 3-bedroom home you get for about $360 to $400 in Florida sun. You can get a bungalow over there for about $300, right around there, give or take a few bucks. Furnished, you know, sometimes you can get them furnished, sometimes you can't. Right around that price, give or take $100. So let's see. Smoky Mountain Model says it depends on how long you've been in country. At John Miller, if you have an ACR card, probably so. I'm not sure what he's answering. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0. If I leave in June, if World War III don't start first, everybody's worried about that. Wiser and happier. Online dating worth the effort. Filipino Cupid terrible. They also have cherry blossoms. Some people say that's the best route to go. It's best to come here, wiser and happier, and just do it yourself here, because you don't need that. I mean, if you come over here, you'll be much better off, and feet on the ground are way better, and you'll meet tons of people here. Don't worry about it. Also, Facebook over here. Facebook has Facebook dating. So once you register on that over here, tons of people will start talking to you. So don't worry, you'll meet people over here, and you'll meet people at the malls. You'll have people come up to you and say, "Hey, you looking for a girlfriend? I have a girl for you." Like just some older woman will come up and ask you that because they know they see a expat, and they say, "Oh, I want to have my niece date this guy or whatever." So you'll get lucky over here. You will. You'll find somebody. Everyone does. And I got really lucky. I have a decent girl. Sam T says, "Do you have a vaccine to? Do you have to have a vaccine to enter the country?" As of now, yes, Sam, but I think that's going to go away. The IATA is fighting that. Scuba Guy says, "Hi, Steve. I seem to remember in one of your videos you mentioned you had an infection on your leg. I was curious if things like staph infections are worse in the Philippines from a scratch." Yes. I got cellulitis, okay? Let me just say this. I got almost 100 people on here, and this is like a really important thing. If there's one thing you don't do over here is and we tend to do that, is we scratch when we get a mosquito bite or something. And that's what started all my leg issues, was scratching, because you have like dirt underneath your fingernails, you have bacteria there. And in the Philippines, there's bacteria your body's not used to. And that's what started the whole process with the problems on my legs, okay? So what you do is you get Lifebuoy soap over here, and there's silver in there, and the silver stays in your skin after you wash it a little bit, okay? And it fights off infections. So you get the Lifebuoy soap that says Silver Active or something like that on it. And if you use that soap, you're less likely to get infections from mosquito bites or scratches or what have you. So just be aware of that. Lifebuoy soap. And it smells good too. It's kind of a nice soap. Let's see. My favorite YouTuber says, I moved from Fargo, North Dakota for the warmer weather. Let's see. John Miller says, "Can the PRA help me get my marriage certificate from the PSA?" Probably not. They're probably going to have you do that. They don't help with things like that. Lulu55 says, "Quating, good area like Tagaytay. Lotwood House. Expect 7 to 10 MIO pesos or more. Depends on the size." I think it means million. Zane Underwood, realistically looking at about a 1,700 budget. Is that still a sweet spot or low sweet spot? It's not the sweet spot. The sweet spot is 2,000 to 3,000, but 1,700 is certainly a good spot to be in. Will it be good in a few more years with the inflation coming up? Probably not. Um, I don't think it'll be a struggle for quite a while. And if part of that is Social Security, you're going to get increases anyway. But that's not a bad spot to be. That's a good spot. Michael Leguest says, "Can I message you on Facebook?" Yes, you can. If you email me out, just ask me for my link. Okay, email me at Steven5975 and you can get my Facebook. Okay, so I will give that out to you if you want to join my Facebook. Because there's so many Steve Johnsons out there, you're not going to find me. It'll be really hard. There's thousands of them. Steve Ford says, "Steve, I just got 1 GB speed internet, gigabytes for my wife, 8,000 a month on 3-year contract, PLDT." All these internet companies lately have been having breakdowns in their internet, and for me, like even on here, last week it was horrible, but this week here it's much more stable, which is good. Brooke Snyder says, "What is the exchange rate on the street for $100 bills? Is it the same at the airport?" It's about 52 right now, somewhere around there, give or take a few cents, but it's right around 52. So you just times that by 100. So, but yeah, it's a good rate right now. It was at 49 and 50. Johnny B. Good says, "Are prices of living much different in lower islands, Negros, Cebu, etc.?" Yeah, some of those places, Cebu's a little bit expensive. And you're going to see a lot of those places rise up because of the gas prices. So, but yeah, on the islands and some of the provinces, it's much cheaper living out there, but it's the style of living too. And some people are not, that go down there do not like it. They end up moving closer to Manila or places like that. Some people end up going home and they just give up on the whole Philippine experience totally. But yeah. Clark Canderson says, "We used to go to Word of Life Christian camp in both summer and winter. Fun times." That's where I used to go, Word of Life. That's where I used to go, Clark. Good place. A lot of fun. With the little cottages there on the lake. And, skating on the ice and sledding and everything else. We used to have a lot of fun there. Horseback riding and everything. Ski mobiles. Sinful says, "Quating, as far as rent, I have a 3-bedroom, 3-bath and gated community. With 2 carports and security for $600 a month in Silang, right at the border of Tagaytay." That's actually a pretty good deal. I mean, that place that I showed the other day, that was a beautiful place for $600. I was really impressed with that. That home that I showed. If you've seen it, it was something that you'd really like because it had that patio upstairs where you could just have breakfast up there. Some people were saying, "Well, Steve, there's no living room." There was a living room there, but it was small. But you just eat outside because you'd have breakfast upstairs probably, or have dinner upstairs. But you could have a living room there, and you could figure out the space there. It would work because you could eat outside, things like that. It's cool there. You could also put a picnic table out back to eat too. But it was all workable. There was more space in there than what it looked like on the video. One of the guys went out and checked it out. I have to contact her and ask the lady if she finally got it rented out and ask her. Paul Osterhout says, "Hi, Steve. Just dropped email about the mail forwarding I used since 2005. Even established Florida residency that way." That's cool, man. If you can do it. Darren Cooper says, "Steve, have you never seen the Florida state bumper stickers? Welcome to Florida, God's waiting room, state capital. Inside joke, not meant to be mean." No, I have never seen those. Mr. Duke GSDs, "Thanks, Steve. School district state retirement in a few years. I'm 56. Now I just want to retire early. Thanks again for all your videos." I worked for the Lawrence School Department in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And I was grandfathered in so I could retire at 55. And I'm glad that happened that way. Because I think it's like 59 now. I'm not sure, but you have to retire at an older age. But I was grandfathered in, so it was like a really big blessing to me that I could retire early. Lulu55 says, "John Millett, After stay longer than 6 months, you need exit clearance from immigration office. Um, I don't think that the SRV need the exit clearances for 6 months. I think there's something different right now. I think they changed that, Lulu, but I could be wrong on that. I haven't checked on that in a while. I think you can just go online to the SRV thing, and it's something you fill out or something like that's really easy. You just let them know, and then that's what it is. But you have to check with the if you have a SRV, just check with them. If you're on the other ones, yeah, you need an exit clearance for over 6 months probably. As far as like if you're talking about like a regular tourist visa, yeah, you probably do. But I'm not up on that, so don't quote me on that one. Brooks Snyder says, any viewers using the Wise debit card there? I've never heard people using that, Brooke. Um, I've heard of it though. Let's see. My favorite YouTuber says my nephew asked me if I would find him a Philippine lady from Dumaguete. My wife being in USA, going on 8 years, 59 in June. My wife is 30 years old, 28 years younger than me. That's cool. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0 says, I need the sun for my health there. Winter sucks here. Just stay out of the sun like me. So Byron Hall is saying hello from Fort Hood, Texas. Keep the good information coming and stay safe. Thanks, man. We've got 124 people on here. 70 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Let's see. We've got a pretty good show here tonight, which is good. Smoky Mountain Mao says, would it be worth packing a few tubes of antibiotic cream? Yes. Absolutely. Take some of that with you. Take some Neosporin. It's hard to get here and it's very expensive to buy here. So take some Neosporin with you or triple antibiotic, something like that. Excuse me. Dan Carper says, do you think they will get rid of the some of the restrictions for entering the Philippines, like the 30-day return ticket? No. Nope. No talk of that at all. So it's unfortunate because a lot of people have that throwaway ticket, but some people pay the extra $20 or whatever it is, so they can get a full refund on it. Khalid says, great channel. Can an expat lease a car rather than buy one? Yes, you probably could. There are people here that will even rent you a car. If you talk to some people here, they'll do it. Sinful says, Brooks Snyder, exchange rate at airport is low in regards to in the city or at a bank. The best way to do an exchange rate here is usually ATM card, I find. At least for me, I don't find myself losing that much money. I actually find it, because I get all those fees and stuff credited back to my account, the ATM fees. So my bank credits all that back. So I get it all back at the end of the month through my credit union. I have Metro Credit Union in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Wiser and Happier says, easy to buy U.S. prescription medication over the counter without prescription. Um, some of them you can. There are things over here like tramadol is pretty easy to get, and some other stuff. A lot of the pharmacies are really weird here. Some will ask you for prescriptions. Others, they just don't care, so you can pretty much get what you want if you ask for it. JT says, defense soap is what college wrestlers use to fight mat infections. It has tree outs in it also. Tree outs, I don't know what that is. Also, get your doc to prescribe doxycycline before you travel, and just in case, carry it with you. Tree oils, okay. I think you're talking about tea tree oils, because that's pretty good too. Sinfuls at Brooks Snyder. Also, when changing $100 bills, make sure they are new and crisp. No creases or tears. They're very picky. Yeah, Brooke, when you do come here, make sure you do have, like he mentioned, that the no creases, tears. They're very picky. You can have creases, but I mean no tears or anything like that. They want practically new bills when you go to exchange it. Okay. John Bihana says, "Hey Steve, I finally got some tickets to come to the Philippines next month." There we go. Sounds good, John. Brooks Snyder, just put a deposit on Starlink in Philippines. $99 gets you in the queue. When you get here, talk to me about that, because I want to find out about that, because I want to put myself in that queue. So let me know. I definitely want to get in on that. Craig Jordan says, hello everyone. John Bahana says, I don't have all my paperwork done for the SRV, but I'll visit while the State Department is working on it. Let's see. Hillbilly Pyro says, hello, Craig Jordan. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, is your son there like Southern Florida in July and August, but like all year long? Yeah, kind of, except when it's the rainy season, but you guys have a rainy season in Florida too. So, but yeah, we have a rainy season here. But yeah, it's hot here. It's probably like Florida. Some days it's actually probably a little bit cooler than Florida sometimes. Smoky Mountain Model says, good morning, Craig Jordan. Glad you made it. Johnny B. Good says, thanks for your time. Have enjoyed. Got to go for now. Plus, thank you for your replay to email a couple of days ago. Take good care. Craig Jordan says, Smoky Mountain Model, good morning, sir. Tumbo Throttlefish is on board. He says T, whatever that is. Michael L. says, Kevin Nash's Kitchen, the sun is worse than Florida. Manila is 10 degrees closer to the equator. I use 130 SPF sunblock. Hillbilly, yeah. I mean, so it depends where you are. I mean, we're 430 feet up here in Tracy, Martyria, so it's a little, it's not that hot here all the time. Let's see. Hillbilly Pyro says psoriatic arthritis medical retired. Me, sun and warm weather is good for it. Yes, it is. You're right. Just be careful of skin problems over here, though. Lulu 55. Yes, Steve. Tourists need to exit clearance. Yes, yeah, I heard that too. Craig Jordan, Kevin Nash's Kitchen. That's a good analogy for the weather. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Let's see. Alan Butner says, here now, any updates on China with the Philippine Islands? Nothing. I did hear, Alan, I heard this. You can actually see it. It's on YouTube. They were talking about now that China is probably not going to go after Taiwan like they were considering after seeing the way the world's uniting against Russia, going after Ukraine. I think they're afraid of all the things that would happen to them because it would be there would be hell to pay for them going after Taiwan. And I think they're starting to realize that now. So I don't think anything's going to happen with China going after Taiwan for now. But maybe in the future they will. But as of right now, no. Tombo Throttlefish is going to check in 2 suitcases. What should I get here that's more expensive or hard to get there? I'm thinking extra clothes, 6 feet. Yes, get t-shirts. Maybe extra phone. Yes, extra phone, good. A good computer and a good cell phone. I tell people stick with Apple. Apple works really good over here. I love having my Apple. My Apple serves me very well for taking pictures and taking pictures of documents that I need to send back to the U.S. for anything. So you could do that with other phones too, but you want to know something? Apple's really good and it's crystal clear. Sinfuls, Smoky Mountain Model, it cannot hurt Smoky. I packed, example, like 50 deodorants as I can use one that I found that gives me no rash. Ha ha ha. Michael L. says, message retracted, Michael. Charlie, at 70 years old, are you exempt from background check for the SRRV? Yes, you are. At 70 years old, you don't need to do the background police check. Okay, so Hillbilly Pyro 2.0, one of my bags is all computer parts, LOL. Okay, I'm not sure how Customs is going to handle that, but most of the time Customs doesn't check your stuff here. If you come in at the right time, they never check it. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, at Michael L. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, he's laughing. Smoky Mountain Model Sinfuls, I'm packing a Balik buy-in box at the moment with household items. There we go. Michael L. says, Mupirocin is much better than neomycin ointment and readily available at pharmacy counter at Mercury or Watson's. Mercury and Watson's, let me tell you something about Mercury and Watson's while we're on the subject, Michael. Mercury and Watson's has some great stuff there, and they have a lot of herbal medicines there too. I don't think people realize how much Filipinos are into herbal medicines. But when you go to Mercury or Watson's, a lot of their stuff, like cough medicines and things like that, has herbs in it. And it's really, really good, and it works awesome. They're all about herbs and vitamins over here for sure. Michael Lucart says, Paul Osterhout, I live in General Trias Cavite 4 years, but I need info on a mail service. I would appreciate any help. Let's see. Some of those mail services, you have to be careful, guys. And I'm going to tell you why, because some of the banks are picking up on them that they are mail services. So their security picks up on it, and then what they like Charles Schwab has security on that, so they know what you're using. If it's not a regular address or something, they know. So they're picking up on that slowly. Craig Jordan, Sinfuls, Arm & Hammer Deodorant 6 I have found to work well. Lulu55 says, Dan Carper, the return and onward ticket was always requested. Only they are not strict to 30 days before pandemic. You know, they're checking it at the airlines, but when you come into the country, they usually don't check that. I did notice that they didn't ask for a couple of the guys that talked to me that came through said they didn't even ask for it, Steve. But maybe they, I don't know, maybe they just didn't realize it was on their ticket, that it showed the onward ticket. But one of them told me it was in his pocket or something. So I don't know. I've heard a couple people saying they're not even, a lot of stuff they're not asking for, and people are getting through fairly easy. So I don't know. They have a lot of new people in there too that are working. Sinful says, wiser and happier for most items. Yes, got my asthma meds, no problem. I had my app from US with digital prescriptions on my phone. To show I take them. Let's see, Maximus, get a Charles Schwab high yield checking account and get free debit and ATM withdrawals worldwide. Yep, that's what I have. Ameritrade and Charles Schwab are the same, by the way. Ameritrade was bought out by Charles Schwab. Let's see, Hillbilly Pyro 2.0 says, I wonder what Citibank is. Citibank here is leaving. They used to have a lot of the restaurants here. They had deals where if you use your Citibank card, you could get 50% off sometimes or 30% off. We never see those deals anymore. They're all gone. Maximus says Charles Schwab reimburses ATM fees worldwide. Let's see. Maximus says Starlink is going to cost $500. He says a month once in operation in your area. No, it's $500 to join, Maximus, and $99 a month from what I heard. It's not $500 a month. That's wrong. Lulu55 Sinful's Manila airport exchange rate was okay before pandemic, but Cebu was really extremely low rates. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0. I just don't trust a Musk project. I do. I love Musk. I think Musk is a genius, man. Sinful's Craig Jordan, I use Speed Sticks Ocean Surf. And Kevin Nash's Kitchen says LMAO, $500. No, it's not $500. It's $500 to join, from what I understand, and $99 a month. Because there is some equipment that you have to buy, and then it's $99 a month. But you know something? I don't know if they're going to charge that in the Philippines. It might be a different price here, but I'm still hearing that same price here too. Now Bobby Gregory says, just watching, good content. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Bobby. Sinful's Lulu55, okay, good to know. Alan Buteness says gas is $4.48 a gallon in Erie, Pennsylvania, and it's $7 in California, I'm hearing, and $8 in some places. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0, from what I've seen, Starlink is going bankrupt. I haven't heard that one. If anything, they're going to get wealthy with what they're doing. And also, they're even helping the Ukraine right now. So they have all that stuff up there. They just sent up more to replace some other ones that I don't think they aged out, but I think some of them had some issues or something. Verna Cordon says, hello, sir, watching from Laguna. Thank you, Verna. Maximus, there is cheaper fiber internet in the Philippines than Starlink. Yes, there is, but even the fiber internet breaks down here, because I have the fiber, and trust me, it's not always good. It's good. It's great tonight. I'm not sure why it's working so good, because I'm kind of surprised, but usually it breaks down and we have some issues. Michael L. says, altitude makes UV exposure worse. It will feel cooler. The UV is still there. Yes, you're right. Even in the cold. Kevin Nash's kitchen, even on a cold mountain, you can get burned in the winter. The temperature decreases about 3.3 degrees for every 1,000 feet above sea level on average. See, Brooke Snyder says, Google Starlink, go to the website, plug it in, pay $99 US, just like I said, and you're in the queue, fully refundable. The more that sign up, the quicker Starlink arrives. I like that. Paul Osterhout says, Steve, okay to post the link for the mail service here? Sure, absolutely. You know, I don't recommend those mail services, but yeah, some people still want to use them, I have no problem with that. Let's see, Paul Osterhout, Michael Lucart, I'm in Dasmas, and General Trias too. So that's all my neighborhood. See, Michael also Pixel 6 all the way. Maximus, Brooke Schneider, $99 to get in line, but that will be the monthly fee for Starlink. It will be around $500. Yeah, it's a monthly fee. It'll be it's not $500 a month. It's $500 to join. So he probably is going to have to pay up $400 more later on, but that just gets you in the queue. Sinful's Hillbilly Pyro 2.0 iPack to stereo system. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0. Sinful's nice. I'm bringing my main tower PC and a few laptops for editing videos and all. I want to talk a second for about Starlink, because Starlink would be a great thing for expats here. I'm going to tell you why. Because God forbid they ever have an issue where China does get involved over here, or something happens where you have a brownout or a blackout, or even a typhoon or something like that. To have that there is going to be great, because all you need is a small generator, a battery pack, or a solar generator or something like that, and you're all set, because you can go back up online and you can use that to get out to your friends back in the US and let everybody know that you're okay, which is great. And it's also great for vloggers too, because vloggers will still be able to vlog despite the fact that there's major issues here, if God forbid something does happen. Wiser and happier. Iodine is great to put on bites. If you develop cellulitis, grab flucloxacillin 500 mg capsules 4 times a day on an empty stomach for 7 days, assuming no penicillin allergy. I think I took that. I think I took some different medicines. A couple of them didn't work, and finally one worked. I can't remember which one finally worked, but one of them, I think that might have been, I'm not sure if that was the one that worked or the one that didn't work. Sinful's Maximus, I have that, works great. Michael L says mupirocin is not a herb; it is an antibiotic ointment. Yes, it is. But what I was speaking about was they do have a lot of herbs over here too. Let's see, Maximus Epbrook Snyder. There was also a $99 fee to queue up for the Ford Bronco, but then you have to pay the MSRP for it, so it was not $99. LOL. Okay. So Maximus the Sinfuls, how much are you paying? Jerry Williams, hey Steve, how you doing, Jerry? Maximus, Sinfuls, does it work in a thunderstorm or snowstorms or cloudy skies, since it is a satellite? Yes, it does. Absolutely. Paul Osterhout says mine is used for DOD and DOS clearances. Plus, I got my Florida driver's license with it, American Express as well. YT Flavor says Starlink is $99 per month, $500 per month is for premium targeted to businesses. Okay, so that explains that then. So there is a maybe that's what he's getting confused with, because I heard that it was $500 to join up in the beginning. Okay, so maybe that's what he's getting confused with. James Franklin says, check your prescription meds before you start taking herbal meds. Yes, because some of them don't mix well. Also, don't take, grapefruit. Grapefruit does not mix well with a lot of medications. And also, another thing is cinnamon is also one of those. So, Lulu 55, Steve, your return ticket is checked by the airlines before boarding. Okay, but is only requested for tourists, not for permanent visas like SRV at 13A. Yeah, these people that I was talking to was come over on the tourist visa, but they were telling me that they didn't get checked, and I was like, well, maybe they checked it at the airline, but they were mentioned that they didn't get checked when they got here, which it kind of makes sense that what you're saying, that a lot of the airlines do check stuff like that, so that's probably explains that. Sinful's USAA is also good. Rebates on ATM fees. Also, State Department Federal Credit Union. We mentioned that a few weeks ago or months ago. That's a good bank for expats. It's actually a credit union. Credit unions work differently than banks, so it's easier for them to work outside the country. For expats too, and that's an expat credit union that will work with you face to face. They have face to face tellers that you can talk to online, so it's kind of cool. So you guys might want to check that out before you come here, because it's easier for you to open it there while you're there, and then come over here. Let's see, Maximus. I meant Charles Schwab account. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Yes, maybe like hotel pays $500 or so. Craig Jordan, 5.19 gallon cost of gas at Costco. Craig Jordan, Sacramento, California. Michael Lucart, Paul Ostow, thanks. You can get me on Facebook Messenger or email. How long will you be here? Michael L says, Hillbilly Pyro, do not rent a throwaway ticket. No, absolutely. I agree with you on that, Michael. Buy one. BOI has direct access to airline Sabre database. Yes, And if you do that, you can get blacklisted here probably too. You risk getting blacklisted. I'm not saying you will. You risk it, and you want to be careful with that because then they can ship you out of the country, you know, and or they'll make you buy a ticket right there at the airport. And if you don't have the money to buy that onward ticket, guess what? You're leaving. So be careful. Wiley Coyote says, great content, Steve. Really appreciate your insights for the Tracy Martires area as a hidden secret. You know, the Tracy Martires area, it really is a hidden gem here because right outside my door here, I can walk out and jump on a jeepney, and I've mentioned this many times. I can jump on a jeepney and travel up to DASMA, to De La Salle University Hospital. I can go up to SM Pala Pala. I can walk to the next street over after that, which is just like a 5-minute walk. I can go there. I can jump on a bus from there and go all the way up into BCG. I can go all over the place with these buses. Okay, I can go all the way up to Manila, to the PITX, which is like a bus place, and I could take another bus going further up to Subic if I want. And then when they come back, they will drop me off right down the street here, and I can walk back home. Or when I go up to DASMA, I when I leave, I walk up to the top of my thing here, about a little bit over 100 feet up to the top here, jump on a jeepney, takes me all the way over there, and when they drop me off right in front of my house. I can't beat that. And a lot of the other expats that are here are getting the same thing. They're moving around this neighborhood. We had one guy move into this neighborhood yesterday. He's going to be actually moving in physically Monday. So just FYI, I mean, that's what I'm saying about this place. And the prices are cheap for the apartments here. That guy there, he's about $100. He's moving into a $100 furnished apartment. Is it the best? No, but it's livable for him because he's okay with it. Okay, but it's clean. It's clean. It's nice. It's in a Philippine neighborhood, and some of the expats are okay with it. Some people are not. I mean, if you're not okay with it, then you'd move into a gated community or something. So that's why I tell people, think about the prices, because the prices over here are so cheap in this area here, and we're not out in the provinces. We can get to Manila really quickly and have a nice day up in Manila shopping or what have you. I enjoy Manila. But anyway, let's see. Hillbilly Pyro says, yeah, I plan to buy. Michael Lucart says, thanks, Steve. Appreciate what you do. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0 says, I just don't know if I will stay 2 months or 2 years, yet got to see how it feels there to me. John Fetchko says, welcome from Florida, the Free State. Let's see. Michael L says, YouTube chat allows posting of URLs. I'm not sure, Michael. I'm not sure if they do or don't. They might not. So if it doesn't allow it, you'll know it's not me. It's just that the chat might not allow it. YouTube policy or something like that. Wiser and happier. Topical mupirocin should only be used if infections are known to be caused by MRSA. Gurkha9 says, Michael L, only for mods and channel owners. Okay. Maximus says, Steve, did you see that the new Ford Bronco is over 6 million pesos there in the Philippines for the mid-variant Black Diamond? The same Black Diamond is around 45,000 in the USA. 6 million is 120K. I didn't see that. I see people over here, they're buying the new MG SUV over here, and it's only got a 3-cylinder in it. But it rides really nice. It rides great. It might not have a lot of horsepower, but it gets you around and it gets you around cheaply. Michael Lucart, been there since 2005. Wife and I had issues with our marriage docs from Kuwait. Had to go back to square one, but no worries. See, Kevin Nash's Kitchen, can you see daylight coming through beneath your doors? I notice most outer doors have no weather stripping attached. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was the one who was, I talked to people about putting the rubber strip across the bottom of your doors and put all in the weather stripping. And you can get that stuff at most of those Japanese stores, like the Japanese dollar stores that they have here. They have the weather foam, like the foam tape that you can put in. And yeah, we have that on the doors here. I actually showed that in one of my videos too. One of the beginning videos that I showed my house a long time ago. Not the most recent, but one before. And I showed the weather stripping. It keeps bugs out too, and it also keeps out the little geckos and stuff like that. So yes, that does help. Let's see. YT Flava says internet infrastructure will be much better in the next year as PI has opened up for foreign investors and companies. Yes, it probably will be. Hillbilly Pyro 2.0, have a good day and night, all time to get busy. Let's see. And Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Later, Hillbilly. Hillbilly, have a good night. We'll see you probably on here next week. Hopefully we'll be on here next week. The only reason I won't be on here is if we're having internet problems. So if you guys come on here and I'm not on here, it's because we're having internet problems. Or I went on vacation or something like that, or we had like an emergency or something. But that's the only reason I won't be on here. Because I try to get on here all the time, but if we have internet problems, I just don't come on. And occasionally, like, I'll have something happen, I get stuck with something, or something comes up and I have an emergency or something. That's the only time you won't see me on here. You guys know that I try to get on here as much as I can, and if there's internet problems like last time, then I can't stay on. Smoky Mountain Model says, just check the exchange rate, 52.34 to USD. That's good. That's really, really good. I think we're going to see that go a lot higher. Smoky Mountain Model is that $12 rented onward ticket a good idea? No, don't do it. Don't ever do that. Michael Lucart, Paul Osterhout, are you in the Philippines now? Sinful says, if you guys that are coming here have not been here, you want cargo shorts? Yes, so you can carry tissues, personal wipes, etc. Sinfuls, what I tell people is, and I should show this sometime. I should just break open my backpack. I have like a shoulder pack it's just a shoulder pack. It has one strap. And I really love that thing because I put a battery in there. I have a good sized battery too for charging my phone. And I carry that in there, and I can do 4 or 5 full charges with that battery. And it connects inside, and it has a connection outside the bag too. But you can put your wipes in there. And you guys some of you guys back in the States are saying, why would you carry wipes? For several reasons. Number one, there's no toilet paper in most restaurants or public toilets. So there's no toilet paper here. So you just use the bidet. Well, when you use the bidet, you have a wet butt. So I'm not trying to get all, gross here or anything, but that's just the way it is here. But yeah, you bring wipes here. And also it's great when you're sweating it to cool down. Jimbo SSBN 633, a Submariner here, just like myself. Hey Steve, first time watching your live stream. Good stuff. Great questions and answers. Thank you everyone for all your input. Thanks, Jimbo. Let's see. James Franklin says Navy Federal work over there. Yes, I know people that have that actually, and they like it over here. Sinful says Maximus Ford, that is imported, hence the cost. A lot of Fords are made here in the Philippines or Southeast Asian countries. Let's see. Let me have a drink here. Sorry, guys. Sinful says, my point is they are overcharging by 3 times for the Bronco. I heard somewhere about something like that before. I haven't verified that yet. I might look into that. I do see them around here. Let's see. Red Ranger, hello. Been a few weeks since I've been on. We have time change in USA Saturday night. Hopefully I will be able to make it earlier. Paul Osterhout says, Michael Lucart, nope. Inbound real soon. DOD job here in Djibouti. I can't pronounce that one if I tried. I fly my wife here for 3 months stay. Sinful says, Maximus, yes, the import tax is only 40%, but yes, they charge a premium. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, I leased a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house and gated community on the edge of Davao for 16,000 pesos, 310. That's about average though. In that area, I'm pretty sure, because I know Davao is really cheap. I know Mindanao is another place where property is fairly cheap. It's in but it's in Mindanao. It's far away from a lot of things. But yes. But this here place here where I live, it's like a hidden gem being so close to Manila, because we're only about an hour away from Manila if you go at night into Manila. During the day the traffic picks up, so it's about 2 hours, hour and a half, somewhere around there. Patrick Glenn says, good morning, glad to see you are online. Expecting nasty weather in DC today, just sitting home watching YouTube. There you go. Michael L says, MG is now Chinese owned. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. But they still make decent cars. Would rather get a Mazda, he says. You know, I looked at the MGs and I was really, really impressed. But you want to know something? I was more impressed with the Toyotas and the prices they had on the Toyotas here. Toyota is really, really cheap over here. They put 3-cylinder motors in some of them, and let me tell you something. They get the job. They get the job done. The little car that I ride around in, the Wego, the one that I rent over here, it doesn't really, like fly or anything like that, but it gets you around. But they have a motor that's just a hair bigger that they put into an SUV, and they say that they work pretty good and they're really, really good on gas. But I'm not sure about the longevity of the cars, if they're going to last you 250,000 miles like a Toyota would back home. Probably not. But I looked at the motors, and the motors were very well built. So, Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, Steve, have you used MRT, LRT, public transit? Yes. I like them. We use public transit here. We use stuff here. We use the buses and all that stuff. I actually like, going to the PITX or whatever, PIT, whatever they call it up there, the bus station up in Manila there. We go up to there on the buses from here, and it's only like $3 or something. It's cheap money to go there by bus, in air conditioning too. That's the thing I like the best there. You guys know me that I don't like to use the car too much unless I have to, but I have been using the car a little bit more because it's more comfortable. And we still use the buses on occasion. We used the vans the other day, actually, to go over to Alabang. And it was cheap. It was cheap. But there was a lot of us, we had a few of us go over in the vans. Red Ranger says, antigen test lab based are now approved to enter the Philippines. Can you confirm that? I think there's a certain date somebody mentioned. I had just heard about it today, actually. There is a certain date. Maybe somebody on here can confirm the date. So, but yeah, if somebody on here can confirm that, what's the date that starts? Because I know it's fairly new. And like I said, I just heard about it today because I've been busy the past day, so I apologize for not talking about that. Wiser and happier. Good night from Carnes, Australia. We got a lot of Australians coming in here. We don't have any coming into the area yet that have come into the community here, but if any of you Aussies want to come here to the community where we are, we'd more than welcome you guys, for sure. Anybody. I don't care if you're from India or wherever you're from. We had a Chinese fella stop here the other day to visit, just to say hi, one of the subscribers. He doesn't plan on living here, but he's younger, but he's talking about retiring at some point. And he's quite an interesting guy. We actually became close friends, so it's kind of nice. Sorry. Craig Jordan, all the more reason for the Philippine Info Channel to get Starlink. Yes, I agree, Craig. We will get Starlink, and that's one of the reasons why I want to get it, because I think it'd be great during typhoons, or if there's an emergency going on here, we can still get out to you guys. We can still do live chats and stuff like that. I can still talk to you guys. That's the great part about it. Sinful says, Red Ranger, yes, it is approved now. It's approved here, so we will get it sooner or later. As soon as it's available and I can get it, I'm getting it. Brooke Snyder says, is there solar panels going onto houses to defray electric bills? They have solar panels here, Brooke. Actually, right outside Florida Sun, not too far from there. If you go down the street a little ways, there's a place that sells them there. There's a store there. I would imagine you could hook it into your home or something like that. I'm not sure if they allow them on top of the roofs, though. In some places, some gated communities, they allow them, and some they don't. So I'm not sure about, that part of it. Let's see. Zane Underwood says, hey, Steve, have you been watching gold and silver lately? They're out of control and crazy with premiums. Gold hit almost its all-time high last week at $2,063 an ounce. My girlfriend was actually telling me about that. She loves gold. I do too. I'm more of a Tesla man, though. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still way up on Tesla, by the way. Some people have said, well, Steve, you told us all about Tesla, and Tesla took a big dive. Well, now's the time to buy, because you know what? Tesla's got a long ways to go. And buying it at these prices when it was much higher, you're getting a bargain right now because of the war in the Ukraine. So think of it that way, because once this stuff slows down, life starts going back to normal, and Putin starts getting his head together maybe a little bit more. Maybe the stock will start going up. I think it will. So Michael Lucart says, we live in General Trias, Cavite, gated. My wife bought our home several years ago. Knew before they broke ground. When I got here, we completed the construction. Like you, Steve, close to Manila. Yeah, I mean, General Trias is right next to us. That's why I always talk about that area, Michael. You may want to contact me at some point because we have our community here, and we're getting a group here, Michael, and we're gonna do trips and we're gonna have get-togethers and barbecues and stuff like that. And just email me at steven5975@yahoo.com and remind me to put you on the list. And when we start having meetings and stuff, I'll have you come over. You can come over to our house and you can have some barbecued ribs and chicken and rice and beans and stuff like that, or whatever else we got, Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Reminder, watch some of Steve's ads if you have an extra 2 to 3 minutes here and there, since he doesn't have an option to send super chat. Thank you for that, Kevin. We don't do super chat here because I don't think it's fair. I answer all the questions here. I don't look for money from people or anything like that. I just tell people, when you watch my videos, just please watch my ads. We don't take Patreon. We don't do all that stuff. And you guys, I just tell people just watch my ads, and we help a lot of people over here. And we don't ask for. I don't ask for money. I just tell people, if my girlfriend does help you, she doesn't get paid for this, so I tell people they can give her a tip. I won't accept tips, So sometimes I can't help you, but my girlfriend can help you. So I tell people just work with her, and she'll help you get you done. And also we have other people here that also assist, and they've been working out pretty well actually. And just give them a tip. We have drivers that will drive you around up to Manila if you need or whatever, and at good prices, and the car is comfortable too. So Craig Jordan says, Zane Underwood, I've seen the rise of gold and silver along with the oil per barrel. I think it's a better investment to jump on a barrel of oil than it is silver and gold right now, probably. But yeah, gold and silver is definitely a good place to be, especially silver. I think silver is way underpriced, to be honest with you. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, maybe good to have PayPal, Steve, in case you need to do an emergency fundraiser. I don't think I'll have to do an emergency fundraiser, man. I do pretty good over here. I do have PayPal, but actually, we have a couple people over here that they asked me if they could donate some money to my favorite charity. So I told them they could, if they wanted to donate to the orphanage down the street here, they could. And we actually have about 4 people now that donate to that charity, and it's really helping that charity out. And the orphanage is really doing well because it's actually it was formed by Mother Teresa, and they were having a hard time before. There's about 30 special needs kids that were living in the streets and stuff. When I say special needs, I mean real special needs, heavy duty. The parents probably couldn't take care of them, so they just dumped them in the streets, and this place took them in, and it's kind of nice. I'm not asking you guys for money, so don't think that I am. But I was just talking about these 4 guys actually donate monthly, and they actually give that place like $200 a month, and it's really done some pretty decent changes there as far as what they eat and clothing and medical care and stuff. So because there's 30 kids there. Let's see. Stevie B says, "Hi Steve." Zane Underwood says, "Craig Jordan, yes, it is insane. It is insane. Supply is gone. When the Ukrainian situation developed, it shot up like a rocket." Edward says, "How do you get your Social Security check?" I don't have a Social Security check here. I think you can have it just put in your account back in the States, and I'm not sure. I think they might even send it to people in other countries too. I'm not sure. I don't know that much about Social Security because I'm not on Social Security yet, so I'm not really sure, Edward. Paul Osterhouse, Steve, thanks for the great info as always. Tapping out. Oh, dark 30, start in the morning. There we go. Thanks for joining us, Paul. It's good to have you on here, man. We'll probably see you next week. James Franklin says, "Wiser, happy, appreciate the RX info." Smoky Mountain Model says, "Traffic isn't as bad in Davao. Only 15 minutes to center city and hospitals, plus have a working 911 system." Let's see. Michael L. "I have driven Mazda 3 since 2008. Could not be happier. 200 kph in the correct lane." There we go. Maximus, Toyota Raise is a small SUV and has 3-cylinder motor. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm talking about. I think that was the one I was looking at the Toyota dealer the other day. And it looks pretty nice, and it has a nice interior. I actually like the seating in there. The seats were nice. They're comfortable. Michael Lucart says, thanks, Paul Ostad. Contact me on Messenger. When you get here. Okay. He wrote, you get here. But Smoky Mountain Modeler, Edward, just deposit your SS check in your bank in the States, then wire it to yourself. That's the best way to do it. You can wire it through Western Union for 99 cents. Okay, to your bank over here. Edward, Remitly, Smoky. Smoky Mountain Modeler, March 10th for the antigen test. Need it less than 24 hours before departure. Yes. Brooke Snyder says, several vloggers confirmed antigen test now accepted, effective immediately. Must be within 24 hours of departure. There you go, guys. There's the answer. So I guess those vloggers are putting that out there. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, Edward Remitly Wise, Western Union app. Craig Jordan, Red Ranger vlogger Grandpa just covered the update on antigen test. He does a comprehensive explanation on the subject. It's pretty easy to figure out. All you have to do is go do it. But I mean, I know some of these guys, they like to talk for 10, 15 minutes on stuff. But I don't know how comprehensive you can get on it. What more do you really need? You just need to do it. Red Ranger says, I arrive in May. I will spend a few days in Manila, and maybe we can meet up and say hi and grab lunch when I get there. Maybe, yeah. Hit me up and see how busy we are then, because we have a lot of people coming in here. We're getting swamped. Juan Murillo says, hi, Steve. Thoughts on the peso going higher? Yeah, I think it's going to go higher. I think we're going to go back to 55, possibly as high as 60 by the end of the year. Possibly higher. Edward says, Smokey, I use VPN. Smoky Mountain Modeler, Edwin, that will work. Just let your bank know you'll be in the Philippines before you leave. Yeah, definitely let your bank know. Charlie says, Toyota Vios with a 1.54 cylinder is a good choice there. Yes, it is. Stevie B, it'll be cheaper to go back to horses in the UK before too long. It'll soon be, let's see, 2 pounds a liter here. Let's see, Edward, okay, that's Smokey. Thanks, Smokey. Let's see, David Minson says, 24 or 48 hour testing to fly to the Philippines. Does the time begin with your first flight, Boston to LAX? Yes, it begins with that. I believe so. I could be wrong on that, but you may want to check with the airlines with that. I think it starts from when you start flying. Okay? But you might want to check on that just to be sure. Because that's why I won't vlog on that, because these rules change sometimes, and especially in the Philippines here, the stuff changes all the time. So it's kind of hard for us to vlog on some of that stuff, because 2 days later they change it. So your vlog is already outdated sometimes when you post it. And you post it and you wake up the next morning and then people are sending you stuff, hate mail, telling you, well, hey, Steve, this got changed. That's why some stuff like that, I don't like vlogging on that, because the Philippines is way too wonky on that. Michael Lucart, I will, Steve. Thanks. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, you're welcome, Edward. Maximus says, your portfolio is taking a big hit this quarter. I am so close to retiring that I don't need stocks to crash. Yeah, my portfolios took a $7,000 hit, but I'm still up by $6,000. So I'm not that bad off. It was up to 20,000. It's down to like around 13 or 12 now. But I only invested 7,000, so I'm not that bad off, So I invested about 6,000 or 7,000, and I've taken some profits too off the table, so I'm doing pretty good. Zane Underwood, Steve, do you get ad revenue for the commercial that plays before your video and the commercial that plays at the end of your video? Even during, yes. If you can watch them, it's greatly appreciated, guys, because that's the only money that we make is for that. We don't ask for money. We don't take tips. We don't take PayPal. We don't take Patreon. The only money we get is from the commercial ads. So yes. I actually got hit up today by one of the agencies that does the SRRVs today. And I'm not going to mention their name. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. The guy was asking me to place their ads on my channel. And you guys know I will not do that, and he offered me actually a pretty good deal and we turned it down because we're not about taking advantage of you guys and you guys paying high fees. We're about helping you guys. Just like with Mary Rose, I want to see you guys save $1,000 rather than me get money from some agency or something like that. Because there's another vlogger out there, and she's pushing that particular agency out there, and she gets big money from them. I will not push them. I will not take money from them. I didn't accept the ad, unfortunately. And I want to throw that out there because some people aren't aware of that. Some of these channels are making big money off of some of these people that they advertise for it, and they're pushing these people, and they're making money off a lot of money. And some of these places, like some of these agencies out there, they're not telling people that they also make money off the PRA. They get another $500 from the PRA when they're all done. So with the application fee, they get another $500 back from that. So you got to be careful, who you work with as an agent if you're doing your SRIV. And I tell people, work with Mary Rose through me, and you'll do way better off than if you go through some of these agencies. And Mary Rose only gets the $500 from the PRA, and that's why we push her. And anybody, you can see all the comments that we've had from people that have gone with her and they love her. She's backed up sometimes, but you know what? She gets the job done. So it's now there's her and Thelma. There's two people actually doing it now. So she did enlist some help. Let's see. And Cadiz Wilmo says, I love vloggers who are not e-beggars. Thank you. Daniel says, you still have your Magic Jack? Yes, I have. I use my Magic app, the one on my phone. It's an app too, and it is Magic Jack. Just wondering if there is a cost if friends and family call me from my home country to my Magic Jack. No, nope, no cost. Let me have another drink here, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. Patrick Glenn says, in your opinion, why isn't fishing with a rod and reel popular in the Philippines? You can buy them here, but for some reason it's not popular because most people can't afford them. Because poverty is so rife over here, people just don't buy them. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, well, I kind of meant raise money to help a family or something, or maybe a GoFundMe you can do instead. I try to stay out of stuff like that because when you start doing that, you have to register as a what do you call it? A not-for-profit organization, and I'll tell you the reason why I stay out of that, because I seen another vlogger out there who I like. He's a really, really good vlogger. He's a nice man, and he was raising money to build houses and stuff, and he got burned so bad by the trolls that they turned him in, and he actually had to go register and do all this stuff because of the trolls out there burned him. The guy was building houses for the poor here, and I kind of felt bad for the guy because they burned him bad. And he's all above board now, but it was just nasty watching the trolls eat somebody up. And that's why I'm careful about all the stuff that I do. I don't put the super chats. I don't do any of that stuff because I just don't want to deal with the trolls. And as soon as I get a troll on my channel, I block them immediately. I just don't deal with it, and I won't. But I mean, I pretty much kind of troll proof the channel. I still get a few trolls, but they're few and far between, which is good. Michael L. says, wheat futures are up due to Russia and Ukraine formerly growing 30% of the world grain supply. Michael, a lot of people don't know this, but with Russia, Stalin starved like 38 million Ukrainians, back in, what was it, the 30s or 20s or 30s or something like that, whenever it was. I forget the exact year. But they killed 38 million Ukrainians during that time by starving them. I forget what they called it. I was reading about that the other day. I was like, man, that's more than what the Nazis did, Camilo Navaza says, great information. Thank you so much. Watching from San Diego. I went to school in San Diego. I went to cook school at the Navy base out there. So kind of interesting. Let's see. Michael L. says, Social Security can be direct deposited into your U.S. bank account. Yes, it can. Randy S. says, 3 inches of snow in Tennessee. It's Putin's fault. There we go. At least it ain't Trump's fault, right? So Putin takes the heat off Trump now. So Michael L. says, Kevin Nash, bad idea. It will draw the inquisitors like flies. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. I'm not sure why you're not at 25K subs yet. I guess that will come in the next few years. I'll get there, man. I mean, this past month we did 1,000. I think it was 1,000 new subs. We moved up pretty fast. We were just 13,000 a little while ago, and we're over 14 now. So we're moving. We're getting there. I think the reason why my channel doesn't grow as fast as others is because we're different, and we get a different group of people. You know, a lot of the other channels, they're bachelor channels, or they appeal to a certain type of person or whatever, and I want to make my channel different. And I wasn't really worried about how many subscribers I get or anything like that. I really honestly wasn't. I mean, you guys can pretty much know by the way I set up the channel. I do it a lot different than a lot of the other people out there, and I enjoy doing it this way because we get better subscribers. And that's what I wanted. We wanted to get better people here because these are people that are going to be coming into the Philippines. And I think that has helped the channel greatly, you know. Let's see, we're at 145 people and 109 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. We're actually doing really good tonight. Mark Forsyth says, careful when owning a vehicle here. I have $18,000 value at the time of the loss. Toyota truck destroyed by Odette, and full coverage insurance only pays up to 60% for storm damage. Maybe. LOL. That's pretty scary. Wow. It's... You know, yeah, $18,000 gets you a good vehicle over here. It's probably going to be a 3-cylinder or a 4-cylinder, but yeah, it gets you a fairly decent vehicle. Those motors are nice. So, RC Casey says, if the peso goes to 60, that's good for you, no? Yes, it is good for us, but it's not good for Filipinos, by no means. And that's what concerns me, because I'm more worried about the Filipinos over here that, you know, I have to live around, because if I see them hungry and starving, it's not going to be, you know, fun for us to live here. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel exchange rate along with monitoring buying power tells me the real story about your money in the Philippines. Yeah, the buying power over here is pretty good right now. I mean, I live really, really well over here. But if it goes up to 60, we could live really, really well, but it's going to be at the cost of the Filipino. And, you know, that's a big concern, like I just mentioned. Craig Jordan, the Philippine Info Channel, like you covered recently in a vlog. Yeah, we covered it, and we did cover that. We got some more stuff we're covering, inflation and a bunch of other stuff here we've been talking about. We have some stuff coming up pretty good. That's pretty interesting over the next few days. I know expats get in trouble and need to go home. Sometimes they can't get out and help, and people help. Sometimes. Smoky Mountain Model says the 24 hours starts from the moment you get your results. Your departure has to start within that 24-hour time frame. Okay. But sometimes people are crossing over from a domestic flight to a international flight, and I think that's what some of the people are wondering about Smoky Mountain Modeler. They're wondering, like, if you take let's say you're flying from Charlotte to New York, and then you get on an international flight. They're worried that you know, if the 24 hours, let's say you get up to New York and, you know, you stay overnight there, and then the next day, I think you're probably going to have to get another test or whatever. That's what I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. And maybe it could be a 4-hour layover or something like that or whatever. Who knows? You know, that's the problem. That's what I think people are getting worried about. That's what they're asking about. Michael L. David Minson, if your trip is all in one ticket, then it is first departure. Otherwise, it is departure on your last ticket. Okay, so that makes sense. So if it's all in one ticket, then. All right, James Longeran says, I checked into the State Department Federal Credit Union. Just have to be a member of American Citizens Abroad. Yes, it costs $70. Yeah, I forgot to mention about that. I'm glad you mentioned that, James. 65 for over 65. I'm probably going to try it. But yes, that's right. That's correct. I'd be willing to pay that. It's well worth it, because that credit union is fantastic from what I hear. Everybody swears by it, you know. Jim Bryant says, Steve, I need that lady's name and the number, Amber, so that I can get, it's not Amber, it's Mary Rose, that I can get my paperwork for SRV started. Give me your email and I will hit you up right away. Jim, it is Stephen with a V, 5975 at yahoo.com. Steven with a V 5975 at yahoo.com. Okay, and that's my email. Just hit me up, and I will probably answer that tomorrow. I won't answer it tonight because I'm probably gonna go to bed after, because it's already late here. Let's see. Actually, we're gonna be finishing up the show pretty soon here. Actually, let's see. Bad Hand says, "Hey Steve from Urdanita." Jerry Dash says, "I have fantastic little electric city car that I want to import into the Philippines. I've heard some nightmares when it comes to importing vehicles. Yes, it's very expensive. Any advice other than not to do it? Yeah, not. I wouldn't tell you to do it. Let's put it that way. It's very expensive. If you really want the car and you think you can get parts, then then maybe it's worth it. But you can get electric cars over here from China and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'd want to buy stuff from China now." K Fox says, "Hi Steve, how you doing, K Fox?" JT says, "Do they take Amex?" Yes, they do in some places. Mostly Visa, though. Although I do see some Amex up over in Alabang. But Alabang's a very wealthy town. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, Bad Hand, Oregon. Thumbs up. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Mauler. Lay off the Coke, Steve. Try lemon water instead. Don't need the sugar or caffeine before bedtime. I agree, man. I'm kind of stuck on Coke, though, unfortunately. Bad Hand, Pangasinan Province. Okay. Michael L, JT, American Express, MasterCard, and Visa are all accepted. They are, but I don't see American Express around here as much, though. But yes, it is here. I see it over in Alabang. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, oh, I see. Yes, trolls. And I know who you are talking about. Yep. Bad Hand says, North Angeles City. Maximus, was that the vlogger that bought a Ford Ranger Raptor, 2 million pesos? I'm not sure. I don't really follow other vloggers that much, but maybe, probably. Michael L. Steve, I am well aware of the Holodomor. Let's see. The Philippine Info Channel, fertilizers were exported by Belarus and Russia as a large share of what industry? I have no idea. Michael L. Steve, I used to be a Slavophile before my own personal Asian pivot. Okay, there you go. My Danny girl, it's nice to be back here again. There we go. Maximus, Michael L. Slavic women are beautiful. Yes, they are. The women over in Ukraine, man, I dated a girl from Kiev one time, and she was a beautiful woman. It just didn't work out for some reason, but we got along really good. But I mean, it just wasn't meant to be. But I mean, yeah, there's some beautiful women over there. Sinful says, Mark Forsyth, just got my insurance on my truck, and it is fully covered, even by natural disaster. Of course, I paid more for that. Michael L, tea or coffee, the goodness of caffeine without the downside of all that sucrose. I'm not a big fan of coffee, and I'm not a big fan of tea. I do drink some tea, ginger tea and stuff like that. I drink some ginger drinks, like a ginger aid. It almost tastes like lemonade kind of, but it's ginger. And it tastes really good. It's made in Hawaii. My Danny girl says, where in Metro Manila exactly? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Michael L, thanks, bro. I'm from Metro Manila. Okay. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, have a great day all. I need to laundry with a dryer. There we go. Jesus Garcia says, hello from Sacramento, California. Welcome aboard, Jesus. Capitan Newt Hansen. Do you hate Kathy Wood now? No, I don't. Actually, I like her even more because I see what she's doing, and she's still doing what she's meant to do. If you follow what she's doing, you don't worry about the dips. In fact, you buy more. I don't have anything against Kathy Wood. I love her ETFs. I love them even more now because I know what she does. I know how she works things, and if you follow her, you'd understand what I'm talking about. But a lot of people want to put down Kathy Wood, and they're Kathy Wood haters. But I mean, Kathy Wood is a genius, just like Elon Musk with Tesla. This too shall pass. So, This is just basically a dip in the market, and we'll go back. You know. Let's see. They're having a conversation on here at the same time. Let's see. Michael says American Express and Chase are best for points. Yes, they are. Ron Hand Properties. I've been watching your vlogs for a month, not hearing a word from you about your live stream. Please advertise time and date on them. Actually, it's every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Manila time, Ron Ham. So, I mean, if you want to watch them, we're usually on here. If we're not on here at that time, we usually start about 15 minutes before 10, just to start building up to get the group on here. But it's really 10 o'clock. But we start talking about quarter till, sometimes 10 minutes till, sometimes a half hour before I'll even start. But it's officially 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. on Saturday night Manila time. So that's usually in the morning for you guys back there. And we're usually on here unless something happens or my internet breaks down, which does happen sometimes. So if you don't see me on here, it's either we went away or our internet just isn't working. But most of the time we're on here. So you can go, I miss a night here and there, but that's about it. What was the highest exchange ever? Wow, I'm not even sure of that one. I think it was 57. It might have been higher than that. I'm not sure. Let's see. Steve Ford says, Steve, you ever been to an eco resort? Not just by name. I have not. They have them here, but I have not been to any of them. I know in Palawan there's some, and there's some other ones. I think even in Mindoro and other places. Let's see. My Danny girl says, Ron Pereira, there is St. Luke's, Quezon City, and Taguig. That is close to BGC. BGC is an awesome place to live. It's very expensive there, but it's a beautiful area. But you know something? Alabang is even better. A lot of people talk about BGC. The buildings are high there and it's beautiful there, but there's less pollution in Alabang, and there's more shopping and stuff there, and it's cheaper shopping. So just FYI. Maximus says, as long as you stay in the airport after your first flight, then no need to retake a new antigen or PCR test. Also, the time frame for the negative test starts when they took the sample from you. Okay. Sinful says, JT, yes, some places do. I have American Exchange. Scott Hicks says, good evening, Steve from Maryland. Snowing here. There we go. I don't miss snow. Not at all. Let's see. We're going to end this up in a few minutes, guys. We got about 107 minutes on tonight. So we're doing pretty good. We're almost up to 2 hours. We went way over time tonight. But I just want to make sure you guys get your questions answered and stuff. Let's see. Kevin Nash's Kisses. Once in Germany, we had an exchange rate double of normal, and the guys were buying cars and big ticket items that week like crazy. I'm sure they were. That's a good time to do it. Luke Albert says, hi, Steve. Thanks for the great videos. I like the apartment townhouse tours. I actually have some more of those coming up. I have some low-end ones coming up, and I have some high-end ones coming up probably this week. If things work out and they're not rented before I get over there, I might even show one probably tomorrow or Monday. I'm gonna try to get over there tomorrow and show one tomorrow. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do that in the morning. Jerry Williams says, what about Discover? I've never seen Discover card, but they might be out there, you know. Let's see. Data Boots Vlog. Let's see. SC Tsunami. If you check your bag all the way to Manila, when you checked in for your flight, did the airline check your PCR test? If so, you are within your 24-hour period. Okay. BJ, hello, Steve. Good evening. Stan, hi, Steven. New here, wondering what part of the Philippines you live in. I live just below Manila, about 25 miles south of Manila. Okay, in a place called Tracy Martirez. Data Boots Vlog says, shout out, Poe. Craig Jordan, who came first, the Kievan, Rus, Ukraine, or Russia? I'm not sure. I'm not big on history of Russia at all, so I couldn't tell you. Leonard Loon says, hi from Houston, Texas. I usually can't catch you live. It's good to see you on here, Leonard. We're actually going to be finishing up in a few minutes, so I'm going to read off a few more, and then we're probably going to wrap this up. Let's see, we got 128 people, 131 thumbs up. That's good. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Let's see, Michael L says, Discover and Novus is not accepted outside the States. So there you go. There's your answer. Also, Discover is only good for cash back, not travel points. Michael L says, Craig Jordan, Ukraine was first. Kiev, Russia was a major center. Then Moscow was a village. Deadbug Doug says, we will all be broke by the time Biden gets out of office. He's probably right. YJ Baxter says, hello, Steve. Do you have to have a physical vaccine card to fly into the Philippines? Yes. Or is a digital copy alone okay? I think you need to have the physical card too. You probably need that over here because they ask for it when you go into restaurants and stuff. So I would not just come here with a digital copy. If you have the real card, bring it with you. Trust me. You can get extra ones if you need. Just go back to the place where you got the shot, and they'll give you another one. Jack Eisman says, looking for a landing spot. Davao, CDO, or Iloilo. Any advice, any of these? Pricing, beaches. Land in Manila. That's what I tell people. I mean, if you're new here, come to Manila. I tell people to stick around Luzon, man, because you got a lot more to offer here than they do on these other places. I'm not saying those places aren't nice, because they are. They're beautiful. They're fun to go visit. But to live there, it's just a lot harder. Michael L says, how does one get a digital CDC card? I have a photo of it on my phone, and I will bring the original CDC card with me. Yeah, man, you really want to have your CDC card, for sure. So, DL, Taiwan is next after Ukraine. I don't think it will be. I just saw a YouTube about that, and it was a news broadcast, and a couple of other people were talking about it too. They says that China's watching Ukraine really heavily, and they don't want to have that what's happening to Russia now happen to them. So I think Taiwan is now off the board for China for a while. So we'll see how that goes. Tesori says, hi Stephen, can you please tell how you buy food if you don't have a car? Easily. Yeah, you use a tricycle. And you put all the food in the tricycle, and they take you back to wherever you're going. Or you could. There's actually a supermarket down the street here. I can walk to the supermarket there and buy my food and walk back. So it's not that hard. It's pretty easy. Craig Jordan, Michael L. Thanks. I have been reading their history for years and still have not figured out a lot of it out. To apply for it today. My Danny Girl says Jack Eisman, Davao. Jerry Williams, Michael L. That's not accurate. Discover is accepted outside of the U.S. Sinful says highest rate was 56. That's what I said. I think it was like 56 or 57 in October 2004. Michael L. Alabang or BGC, those two are as expensive as Singapore. Yes, they are. But there are places in Alabang you can still get fairly reasonable. But yes, it is expensive. Food's a little bit more expensive there, but it's a lot more Western living. So if you're looking for Western living and you have a good budget, that's a good place to go. It is nice there. I go there quite often. Jack Eisman says, thanks, my Danny girl. Why? What do you like? Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. YT Flavor says, I lived in Ayala, Alabang in the 90s. It was brand new, like living in a nice gated U.S. suburb. It is. It really is, yes. Scuba Guy says, Dan, back again after UK, BT, internet shutdown. Missed most of your stream. If Starlink is better than this, I will for sure sign up for it in the Philippines. It's definitely better. Jack Eisman says, what you like in Davao? I'm actually not a fan of Davao, but it is a nice place. I know a lot of people that go down there say that they swear by it and say it's nice there. So I don't want to say too much, but I don't think it's a place for me. I would stay away from Mindanao just because of some of the issues there. My Danny Girl says, Jack Eisman, your choices is Davao, CDO, Iloilo, Davao, Samal Island, or Pearl Farm Resort. Let's see. Michael L. Jerry Williams, is that recent then? I know Discover used to be U.S. only, or at least North American only. And Danny says, I use Discover card there in the past, but it is hard. They prefer Visa there mostly. And most places just take Visa. Jerry Williams says, Michael L., not sure how recent it is, but they list the coverage on their website. SC Tsunami says, can you do some videos for part-time expats, like 6 months or so? if you're here for 6 months, you're not really truly an expat. You're kind of like a tourist. And in reality, you know, I mean, I know we have people that come here for 6 months and then they go home. But yeah, you're kind of an expat, but you're kind of a tourist expat. You know, in all reality, we do have people that do that. We have a guy that rented here just recently. And I'll go into it really quick here. He rents a small apartment here, but he said he's just going to use that for storage. And when he flies in here, he's going to fly and use that. He's going to have AC in it because this guy's he has a really good budget. So he's paying $100 for that apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. He's going to have AC in there. He's going to have everything in there. He's going to use it for storage. He's going to share it with his friend or friends, and they can use it and they can stay there once in a while too. And they can just use it as like a place to flop in there and stay there overnight and just. It's right around the corner from supermarkets and everything, so it's a great place. But yeah, you can. There's people that definitely do that. So let's see. Jerry Williams says definitely not as widely as Visa or Mastercard. They're still talking about the Discover. Let's see. Kevin Nash's Kitchen estimated percentage of homes with a vacuum cleaner in the Philippines, 0. No, it's almost 0. There's some people that do have rugs. Darren Cooper, who's on here right now, he has rugs in his house, actually. Some people would say, well, why would you do that in the Philippines? Because he lives in a fairly nice neighborhood. It's a nice home, and it's clean, and you just take your shoes off before you go in. That's no big deal. Jack Iceman, Davao, go to Samal Island, cheap resort. You can find and explore the island. You can check Hagumit Falls. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, you messing on way out. Just messing on way out. Let's see. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, the CDC recommends you access a digital card through your U.S. state health agency. North Carolina and some other states, at least last I heard, some of them don't have digital cards. So, the digital cards are not states that don't have them. Youssef says, good morning, Steve. That was a beautiful house for rent, $600 it showed. I believe it's still available from last I heard, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But if anybody's interested in that place out in Tagaytay, that is a beautiful home. Beautiful. Some people were a little bit worried about the living room there. You really got to think that one out because I don't think I'd be eating downstairs down there. So you can have that whole area down there as a living room. You just need to put a sofa in there and maybe a TV or something like that, and that's it. It's a beautiful home. You could eat upstairs. Just eat upstairs or eat outside in the back out there because it's cool. You're in Tagaytay. It's not like it's 90 degrees there and stuff like that. It's cool. You get cool breezes there, and at night it gets down into the 60s sometimes, and low 70s. So it's beautiful there. But I'm gonna finish up here. I want to thank all you guys for joining me tonight. And we'll be on here next week. We're way over right now. We're about an extra half hour over than usual. But I want to thank you guys for all joining me tonight on here, and we'll be on here next week. And we get some great vlogs coming up this week, guys. So be sure to check it out. And thank you for the 144 thumbs up. And now we only have I know we have people that pop in, throughout the night and stuff like that. But I want to thank you guys for joining. And we had a really good vlog tonight. But talk to you guys later. Thumbs up to you guys, and thanks for joining. God bless, guys.